Hi, this is Maggie again. This is part 2 of my testimony. Part 1, I told you what happened during the pregnancy, and this is part 2. So now I'm a single mom with a child, alone, and uneducated. Really uneducated. Um, so I have to raise him, and the father is not in the picture now. Well, as I became single mom and my journey start with my son, um, it was very tough. It was very tough, and I used to work at the gas station from morning 6 o'clock to at least 10 o'clock at night. I used to take my son, keep in the gas station, in the cubby, and I used to work. I used to work. I used to make money, and I used to take care of him and me. But as time go by, every day I became a bitter person. I I really became so bitter that I forgot who I was really, because every time I would see my son, it reminded of the man who did this to me, he just, the man that I loved so much, or the man fiance, that his name was Divyesh, so maybe we can call him by his name. uh, it feels awkward to call him now fiance when he's not in the picture, or whatever. He was my life. I loved him so much, and I knew that he loved me so much. But people can change, relationships can change in instant. We don't realize that how frugal is our relationship. Sometimes you can say one wrong word and it's done. When you don't know Christ, you very likely to fall. And if you don't know Christ, you very likely to do mistakes, and you will not know that you're doing any mistake. I was in the same boat, and so does he. He didn't know Christ. He Hindu, and yeah, I'm Catholic, but I didn't know Christ either. So we both were in the same boat. The only thing is, I was upset that how can he do this to me? I was defending myself. How can he do this to me? I'm a good woman. I never, go around with any guy. When I was with him, I was faithful to him. And, means, why would he do something like that to me when I was pregnant? And now my kid is okay. And I wanted to call him, or try to find him and tell him, hey, my kid is okay. We can be together. He's not abnormal. But when you walk a fine line, and when you went through so much during the pregnancy, what is the chances that you wanting to be with that man again? You have to think, if he did this while I was pregnant, what is the chance that he will not do again? That was my fear, and that's why I never called him. But I became bitter every single day. If I think of him, I would curse him in my heart. I would have such an anger in my heart. Oh my. I would hire, ideas in my mind at that time. If I can just hire someone and, bash him, if I can just hire someone and kill him, it's anger, there is no excuse for these all thoughts. But I did go through this all. And you would think, oh, this is an Indian girl. Can she think something like that? Yeah, I'm an Indian girl. But I'm a human. It doesn't matter where you born or how you grew up. The evil is within us. it's built in. That's how we are born, you're born of evil, Even take a small kid. You don't have to teach her anger or him anger. It reacts. Reptilian brain, it reacts, So it was me. I hated this guy so much in my heart, to my core. I hated him for 7 years. In these 7 years, I went to school. I did my healthcare. I became a healthcare professional. While I have my kid with me, God put right people in my path. When I went to school, I met a girl. She was Seventh-day Adventist lady, was sitting next to me, talking about God with me all the time. I don't know why. If I had a lunch hour and I sit back, she would talk to me about Christ. She would talk to me about Christ. She would talk to me about Christ. And I'm like, go away, I don't want to know. Because I have, or my English is not that good. So hopefully you forgive me during these all videos. But God is not something I was looking for, that was not me. I was looking for revenge. I was looking, how can I put this man down? I was, burning into the agony. How can I come up and show him, hey, you did this to me, but look how successful I am. That's why maybe I went to school, did my nursing, and all I wanted to do is come up than him. That was my mindset. That's where I was going. And meanwhile, I was in the school for 2 years. I sit next to this woman who means I used to go to work and I used to go to part-time school. So, how hard that is. But I did that. And I took all that glory for myself. But what I didn't realize is God was with me. Even though when I did not know him, he knew me. When I thought I was alone, walking alone, no family, no friends, nobody, no man, but what I needed, what was essential for my life was there, supporting me, pushing me, putting right people in my path. And I didn't realize that. I really did not realize that. All I thought, oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I want to do this. I can come up. But what I didn't realize, it's not my strength to do anything. It is God and God alone. I did not know that. That is one thing I missed during the whole journey. I really did. And even today, I hate that God was so close to me. He was breathing with me. He was right on me, and I didn't realize that. I hate that today when I look back, that he was walking so close with me. And I had no clue. I had no clue. I was burning in fire, in anger, how to destroy this man. That's all I knew, to destroy this man. I cursed him, sitting, eating, reading, walking. I cursed this man in my heart so much that one day I said to God, I don't know which God, because I didn't know any God. Just talk to God. Not necessarily Jesus or something. It's like, feeling. I said, one day I want him to come into the car accident and lose his both legs. And may God put him in the wheelchair and bring him back to me, so I can show him what love really means. I will do 2 jobs. I will take care of my son, and I will take care of this man who destroyed me to show him what really love means. I will take care of him. I'll keep him so much in better shape that he should regret every moment that he's with me, that I did bad to this woman, but look, she's taking care of me. Did you just heard what I said? Did you know what I was? Who thinks like that? Only evil. And that's who I was. A evil, filled with evil powers. That's who I was. I did not know what forgiveness means. I had become so bitter, so bitter. Have you ever heard the verse says, never get so busy in life that you forget to live a life? I think that's how it says. I got so bitter in my life that I forgot what really life means. Had no clue. No clue. And you could not convince me otherwise. If someone would tell me anything that, hey Maggie, I would say, you don't walk my walk, so don't even give me your lecture. That's how I used to be. The girl in the school her name was Anna, by the way, Anna James. I never forget, because I can't. God had put her in my path to teach me who really God is. She was Seventh-day Adventist, and lunch hour she used to talk to me about Christ. She used to bring Bible, she used to bring scripture, she used to tell me, and I could not walk away from this girl, this woman, because she was so kind, so quiet nature, yet powerful enough to try to break a demonic wall that was me. You know, because I had told her what happened to me, and she knew how bitter I was. So every day she would sit with me. She would tell me to pray. She'll pray with me if I don't, because I didn't know how to pray. Sometimes to shut her down, I might just do. But she would pray. She would talk to me. She will send clothes to my son. She will tell and come sometimes visit me and my son, because she knew I had no family. So this girl, 2 years, invested in me, as evil as I was. At the same time, God was telling her what to do with me. And I didn't realize that, I didn't see that. So as she tried to talk to me about Christ, she gave me Bible, she gave me scripture, she gave me good Bible teaching. I would go home. The Bible will be sitting on the nightstand. I never opened it, never looked at it. But sometimes, maybe the loneliness, maybe the fear, I would just open one and read here and there and put it back, read here and there and put it back. So 2 years, this girl spent in me. And when my school was finished, they did a graduation for us. And she brought, literally, she used to go home church. She had a home church. So she brought all of them to the graduation for me, because I didn't have any family. She brought her husband and the whole church, and she took me to the restaurant out to eat after the graduation. Can you imagine that? Someone without anything needed from me would do that for me. That touched my heart a little bit. And then she invited me to go to Bible school or Bible Saturday Sabbath to spend with them at home. She gave me address and she called me to come. So I went. I went one Saturday. It was so weird. Did not understood their language because I was Catholic. You know, I'm Catholic. We go on, kneel down, say rosary. They are Seventh-day Adventists. They don't do something like that. They had vegetarian food. They had weird food. They had gospel open. They would talk. They would pray. And this, I'm like, wow. I was out of place, to be honest. Very intimidating because they look like very holy people. And I look like a woman with no land. And it was so weird. Oh my God. I could now wait till this get finished and I could run home. So I decided next Saturday I will not go. I will not go. And sure enough, I didn't go. So she called me and she said, hey, why are you not here? You know, why? I said, Anna, I lied. I was good at lying, to be honest. Oh yeah, I can be a great liar. You know, people say every human has, God has blessed them something good. Guess what was my good? Lying. I could lie and you will never know that I'm lying. No, seriously. That was back then though, not now. So I lied to her, made some reason. Then next Saturday she called again. I didn't go. She called. I lied. She called again. I ignored her phone call. Do you know, this girl would not quit. She would come to my house. Oh my God. She was so horrible. Who comes to your house so far away when I don't want to know you? Hello, didn't you get the message? But she would come. She would bring her husband. She would bring stuff and she'll come to my house. If I don't go, she'll come to my house. I want to tell her off so bad, but I had spent 2 years with her, you know, 2 years with her. I had no family, nobody. She loved so much for me, and I hated to say no. So I said, okay, I'll just suck it up and I'll go every Saturday. Just have to sit down, right? Okay, I'll do that. And sure, I did that. Saturday after Saturday after Saturday, y'all, I went. But what I didn't know is God was peeling me like an onion. You must have heard this, but sure He did. Sitting there listening their debate, listening their prayers, listening here and there and there and here. You know, I really enjoyed it. I really started liking it. I never saw God before. Now I get to see God for who He is. In Catholic Church, I never learned about Bible or God or Christ. I didn't know, really didn't know much. But here, it was like one-on-one. I never spoke when I was in home church. I never spoke a lot because I was intimidated. This is all American beautiful people, you know. We have that about ourselves. When you're international, come from India or something, and you are surrounded by American people, I call white people sometimes, don't mind me, not in the bad way. That's how we use, but not in any bad way. But they're so beautiful, you know, they're white, their skin so beautiful, they're like angels. We always get intimidated by American people, you know, at least back then I was. I'm like, I'm so low and they're so high. Oh my God. And then sometimes I'm a sinner and they're so saint. Oh my God, I can't. But that I used to be, you know, because I did not know Christ. So I judged others based upon how they look, how they lived, how they sounded, based upon that, I would judge them and judge me at the same time. So, slowly, as she was, as I was learning about God, my life was changing at the same time, I got a job, I started working, I had more smile in my life, I never dated anybody now, never dated anybody. Now these 7 years passed in my life. 7 years passed. My son is 7 years old now, right? And in these 7 years, I was learning about God, but yet I was not changed that much, not that much. I was trying, it was struggle. I was trying to do right thing, but it was hard to do right thing. Before I would do anything my heart feels. I never felt guilty. Now I could not do anything wrong, and if I do, I will feel guilty. I really would feel guilty, and I would try not to do it. And if I did it, I had reason, good reason for that. Hey, I'm a single mom, I did that, I'm sorry. I would just say sorry and walk away and try not to do again, right? That was me. Means I was trying to change and I didn't know how. And Anna never pushed me for anything. All she did is fed me God's word, but never told me I can chew, I can swallow, I can bite this way or that way. It wasn't her. She was such a godly woman, That was my angel that God sent me. Not all the angels have wings, by the way. So, as I was learning, teaching, but I still had anger in my heart for Divesh. I still, if I think of him, I wanted to just beat him up. That's how I used to think. So after 7 years, one day, this is first time at my work, we had this is in the big hotel, there was a conference for 7 days and they had paid for us. And we were in North Carolina. From Florida to North Carolina, we were in North Carolina, and we were in one of the fanciest hotel, living for 7 days. We have to go for classes and conference and this and that. At night, they had arranged us shows, good time to have a good time. And this is first time I was trying to go in the disco. I never went disco in my life. Disco and bar together, and all girls were there that I worked with personally, and they became my good friends too. So I decided to go. So as I was going from my room, my hotel room, we all got dressed up and I was going, my phone rang. I saw this number. This number rang before also, but I didn't pick up. I don't know who the hell it was, so I didn't pick up, So I didn't pick up. This time when I was going in the hotel, in the disco, this phone rings again. And I don't know why I picked up. I have no idea. It's like something tells me, pick up. So I told the girls to go inside and I just say hello. And on the other side, it was my son's father, Divesh. He was on the other line and he said, hello, Maggie, this is Divesh. And I'm like, Divesh, oh my God, that is him? And I said, okay. He said, this is collect call. That means I have to pay to pick up his phone or talk. No. When the phone call come, it said, it's a collect call. And I said, collect call? What is this collect call? I don't know what this means. It's going to cost you. Press 1 to say yes. Press 2 to say no. And I'm like, huh? And the call was from Divesh. And it tells you, It was from so and so person. Do you want to collect? I press 1 and I say, yes, I want to talk to him. This time, I want to bash him, right? Or I want to hear what he has to say. So when he picked up the phone, he said, this is a collect call. Maggie, do you know where I am? And I'm like, no, I don't know where you are. But what is this collect call? Why are you calling me? And he said, well, I just called to ask you forgiveness. I'm in jail for the last 13 months. I'm in jail and finally I'm going back to India. So before I go back to India, I just want to apologize to you. And I'm like, and I said, why are you in jail? What did you do? Did you kill anybody? And he said, no. Actually, I bought a gas station in Chicago. The money that I took from there, I went and invested in Chicago and in Appleton. And I bought a gas station and I was doing fine. Everything was going good for me. I never called you, never checked on you. Yeah, I know. But one day there was a setup from the cops and I didn't realize that. And I sold cigarette to underage kid. Not only I sold cigarette, I sold alcohol too. And for that, the case started and everything was taken away from me. I was on 10 years business visa. So they took my visa and now I'm in jail fighting the case. I lost everything that I had, everything. My friends took advantage of me. My family that I thought was my family here, they took all my money and now I'm left for nothing in the jail. So I decided to go back to India. But before I go, if one person that I have to ask forgiveness, that is you. So I'm asking you forgiveness. Forgive me before I go. And when I heard that, don't miss this part. When I heard that, I literally saw a demon rejoicing, say, yay, this is what you wanted. You wanted to see him destroyed and he is destroyed. So rejoice, rejoice, Maggie, rejoice. Sell him off, you deserve it. You son of a gun, you deserve what you did to me. What you did to me, that's what you get it. And you say whatever you feel in your heart, let it out. The anger that you had in your heart for 7 years, let it come out of your mouth. Rejoice, rejoice. For your will has come to true. You got what you asked for. Go. Rejoice. Tell him off. Tell him off. Tell him off. Feel better. You will feel good. Tell him off. And at the same time, I saw Christ talking to me and telling me, don't do it, Maggie. Don't do it. The same spirit that I felt in that abortion clinic, the same spirit was talking to me. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Today, you can be on the cross and see why Jesus forgave you your sin. Today you can feel what Christ felt on that cross of Calvary when he forgave you. you can have that joy. You can feel what he felt. You can forgive him, Maggie, because Christ forgave you. I was taken back. I did not have to fight. It was not struggle at all. Naturally, it came to me. I started crying. I felt so bad. My heart was filled with so much compassion that I cried. And I told him, I forgave you, Chico. I forgave you. Don't cry. He cried on the other side. I cried on this side. And we both crying on the phone. At the same time, I realized I felt so light. I felt so much in love with this enemy that did so much wrong to me, completely destroyed me. And I had compassion for this human being. I had so much love in my heart for this human being that I cried. Not only I cried, the very next day, I drove all the way from North Carolina to Gadsden, Alabama, which I never have done in my life. I don't do good in traveling on interstate. Going to some other state, I don't do good. But I did that. I drove. I went and saw him in the jail. I couldn't see him person to person, only on TV, but I did that. I tried to fight his case. I spent all money that I had saved in my saving account. I saved all for this man. I paid his lawyer fees. I reopened his case. I begged for the lawyers to fight again. And I begged him to stay and not go. I would tear the Bible pages that I knew and I would give it to him. Not because who I was, because of what Christ did on the cross of Calvary for me. I felt that moment, oh my God. Even I pay millions of dollars today, I will never have that moment that Christ gave it to me. And since that day, I have been set free from all my anger, from all my issues, from all my insecurities, from all my looking down on myself, my fears. Everything was taken and nailed to the cross of Calvary. I was set free. I was set free. Do you hear me? I was set free that day. Christ set me free. If you're holding something against someone and not willing to forgive, I tell you one thing, it's your loss, not the other person's. He'll pay for what he has done, but you don't have to be judge of that. You don't have to carry that burden on your shoulders. it becomes heavy in your life for you to move forward. But once you give forgiveness for someone, it's not they set free, you have been set free. Do you hear me? When you don't forgive, you are in the cage, not the other person. When you hold grudge against somebody else, it's you putting yourself in jeopardy and chaining yourself. It's nobody else. It's accountable for that. But you, if you're Christian, and if you call yourself Christian, and you don't know forgiveness, please do me a favor. Don't call yourself Christian. Don't. Because God did not give a religion. He gave a relationship. There is a freedom in the relationship with Christ. Guarantee you. So if you're listening to this testimony and you have something against somebody else, see, you have wasted your life. He didn't, you have. You have blocked all your blessings. Because I did mine for 7 years. How stupid is that? I could have been something else. I lost 7 years of my life. And He's not responsible for that. It was me. It is me. It is me who kept myself in the cage. And I blamed somebody else. Don't do that. Christ died for you. Do you know His body was broken for your healing? And His blood was shed for your sins. So don't waste your time. Forgive. It's free. It's given free to you. So you can give free to someone else. If someone did wrong to you, so be it. Look at the cross. Move forward. They will pay what they did. God will bring them back. But you don't have to wait till He comes to you. You move forward. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Because God's time is perfect. So did you and would you forgive if you have not forgiven? If you have held something against your parents, your kids, your father, your mother, your friends? Oh, I will do one more video. When you're working with many women, how hard and how difficult it is not to lose your attitude, your temper, and be perfect. It's not easy. Trust me, it's not. I will make one more video on that. But for now, would you forgive? Would you feel what Christ felt on the cross of Calvary and forgave you? Would you feel that joy that He forgave you? That will be amazing. That's a blessing. Don't take for granted. You live at once. And when you die, you will stand in front of Him. So don't be unknown. Know Him. He's amazing. His name is Jesus. And He died for you. Would you live for Him? I love you. See you in next video. God bless.